Yo, what's good? What's good? Look, I told y'all last week we'd be back with another episode, and we are. I am not in my home studio. So, we're on the road this episode, coming from the East Coast. We are not in Texas tonight. Thus, the lighting and all that. I'm ordering a ring light for this location so we can fix that. But you guys are gonna have to kind of put up with the bad picture and the poor lighting for now. Oh, excuse me. So y'all know what it is already. Let's share this. Let's share the stream. Share the stream, please. Share the stream. If you're watching on Facebook, share it. What's going on, Samaya? I haven't forgot about you. But stuff be crazy over here on the East Coast. Please share the show if you're watching it on live. If you're watching it on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So the more people who like the videos, the more people who like the audio podcast, the more people that are going to see this thing. So, help a brother out. So just give me a little bit. I'm, doing what I do every week. Sharing the live and getting everybody involved. So just give me a couple more seconds here. Just talking about real stuff yet again. Another week here talking about some real stuff. So just give me a little bit. I want to get this thing on out there. Okay. I really think I done got it out everywhere I'm gonna normally get it out to, so forget it. So welcome to yet another episode of the Men Like Us podcast. This is a podcast for men by men. This podcast is targeted to men who are attracted to transgender women. So if you are a man and you think transgender women are attractive, and you're interested in hearing from other guys like yourself, then you're in the right place. This is for you. This is definitely for you. When I started out my journey, my trans attraction journey, I was looking for content on YouTube, online, and there wasn't anything that I could relate to myself. Just as an American man, there were a lot of there were some British guys posting about sex tourism in like Thailand and all that junk, which is really fucking weird. But back in 2007, 8, like when I decided to peek my head up just to see what's out there and if there's anybody I could connect with and fellowship with or learn from, I didn't find anything. So, be the change you want to make. That's why we're doing this show. And, today's topic is, I think today's topic is about male betterment. Honestly, I think men are kind of fucking themselves up quite a bit with all of this dang on porn. And, before we start all this show, I am not against porn. I'm not an anti-porn person. This is not an anti-porn show. So, but this show is about helping guys realize the effects that pornography can have on them that can make them not be their best self. So, let me see all these comments. Yeah, all right. What's up? Hey, what's up, Michaela? All right. So, sorry, we hide these things and get on it. Yeah. So look, I love trans porn as much as the next guy, probably more than most. I'm not gonna lie. Love porn, but at some point, guys, and I'm talking to you men, at some point you have to realize that there are some negative, there are some negative sides to this thing. Porn can impact your real world sex life in quite a few ways. So, sorry, I'm fucking shuffling this down, trying to keep up with these comments. But yeah, it can really hurt you in real ways, Yeah, look, I'll just be real. some guys consume way too much porn. And, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading, that's causing that's having serious effects, guys. It's causing ED. I personally know men that have had instances of erectile dysfunction. Now, these are guys under 40, young men having instances of erectile dysfunction because they watch too much porn. They're watching it so much that when it's time to actually perform in the real world, they can't get their soldier to stand up. So, it's just one of those crazy things that's happening. Actually, I've heard the term coined, it's called a porn dick. I've heard that term coined a couple times, where it's just like, yeah, man, look, I've been watching that porn and I can't do anything. So it's just like it's fucking crazy. Guys have found themselves in situations where, they went out, say went out to a bar, whatever, met up with some chick, and it was just a chance encounter. They didn't know what was coming to them. And when it came time to perform, they just couldn't. They were already worn out. They already, used themselves in that way. And really what this is, all of this like massive porn consumption by guys, by men, what it's really turning into is it's a wave of young men who are far too young for this stuff. There's a lot of young men that are actually like they're using ED medications now. I never thought I would hear so many guys under 40 be comfortable talk. I mean, it's great that they're comfortable talking about it, but there's a lot of guys using Blue Chew and they're not even 40. There's a lot of guys getting prescription medications, whatever. They're taking some sort of supplement to get them up and going. And it's just absolutely like ridiculous that, this is becoming a trend because so many guys are overusing porn, or they're using porn so much that physical attraction in the real world doesn't work anymore, because they're so focused on that stimuli and rewired their brains to, a woman being right in front of them doesn't do it. And I've actually, again, I talked to a lot of guys. I've heard of guys who were like, yo, the porn does it for me, but my woman standing in front of me, I can't get it up. Now, we're not making any accusations on who looks like or whatever else, but that's a real fucking problem, guys. Like, if you are running into these instances where you're struggling to perform, probably a good sign to pull back, really. And this is just, a lot. I understand, from what I've read, a lot of this stuff is like mental, but it's that mental. It's how porn, watching too much of it, kind of rewires your brain, rewires your attractions, and it's just. I'm not saying porn in itself is bad. I am not an anti-porn guy at all. I am not that. What I'm saying is all good things in moderation. And, men really need to be paying attention to the signs where it could be encroaching or infringing on the quality of their real life sex life. So, the honey pack, I don't know what the honey pack is, but yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. You might, yeah. I mean, I don't. Guys be getting the stuff from the gas stations, ordering stuff online. I mean, we do live in an age where it's pretty easy to procure all that stuff without going to a doctor. But it's still, I would hate for there to be long-term consequences where we have a whole generation of men who, watch too much porn, use ED medications far too young, especially when it wasn't needed for them. And now, 20, 30 years down the line, you got a whole generation of men where the medicine don't even work, because some people do form dependency on these things. But that's just one of the side effects that, is bad. It's not good. One of the side effects that men do suffer from watching it too much and not really living in the real world in terms of, their attractions. So, like I said, I'm not anti-porn. Love it, love it, love it. But, in moderation, guys. In moderation all day, every day. But, one of the other things that that happens now, this is very much, this gets a lot more trans specific, at least in my points, because this is a show for guys who are trans attracted. But, porn really warps your expectations. To the guys that are listening, watching this, who don't really have that much, in-person experience with trans women, um, it very much warps your expectations. Your expectations, essentially, what you see on those videos is not what's happening in real life. Not everywhere. So, some people, by watching those porn videos, you're expecting these girls, every single girl, to be completely rock hard all the time. You're expecting her to drop buckets, after orgasming and all the stuff like the girls do in the porn videos. And it's just like, it's not reality. There are plenty of girls that don't get any blood flow down there. There are plenty of girls that don't, nothing comes out when they orgasm. That's real. That's real life. Hormones affect everyone differently. So it's a different experience. So, going into the situation, expecting this stuff, expecting these things, because you see it on every single porn video, they're all doing it. It's not realistic. It is not realistic. If you go in expecting that, you will be, I guess, disappointed. If you want to say it like that, I don't know. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to not have these things, but it's like you come in with these expectations, you're going to be let down because your expectations don't match reality. They don't match reality. Porn is fake. I know porn is fake. I think we all pretty much get that porn is fake. And the things that the girls do in there it's not always what you're going to, get in real life. So, that's really what I'm just getting at. It's just ridiculous. Like, yes, it happens. They get all these things, but it's a whole ass thing. Yes, I said drop buckets. It's a, whatever, it's a porn thing. But, it's just one of those things where it's like, you're expecting this 100% of the time. This is what you expect trans sex to be, and you build it up in your mind, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, well, she didn't do this, or she didn't have this. I mean, another crazy thing from this is like, guys, you're expecting women to be ready to get railed at any moment. That's not how this happens. It's not how this works at all. And I remember, my many years of watching, trans porn before I actually started engaging with women in real life. I had no idea about prep time douching, any of that stuff. I just thought, it looks just as spontaneous as sex with a cis woman on this video. So what's the issue? And then girls like, hold on, let me get ready. And I'm like, get ready for what? What's she doing? What's happening? I should just be able to just do what I want to do. Obviously not the case. So, that's just another like misconception that porn sets up where it's like, it's going to just walk around all day just ready to have anything shoved in them. Like, no. And just spoiler alert, that's how you get doo-doo on you. All right. Just be real. That's how you get what some people call painted. But yeah, that's how you end up getting crap all over you. So definitely make sure the girl that you're having sex with prepares, because that's the last thing you want. Unless you're that kind of person, which I'm assuming most people aren't. But it's just one of those things. It's just like, we got to pay attention to the misconceptions that's on the video. We got to be realistic in understanding that this is fantasy. Things are set up in a way where it doesn't work like that in real life. When it comes to the girls being hard in the video all the time, a lot of those girls are cycling off their hormones just so that they can get it up and perform during the videos, or taking, supplements or whatever else. So it's just like, there's a lot that goes into setting up what looks natural to you, but it isn't. It's not real. It's not natural. So I know I got a bunch of comments in here, and I know I was kind of going all off, y'all. So let me catch up on the comments. Samaya, let's see here. Do you think porn and the sex industry can be separated, or is it pretty much a part of the counterculture now? Because I've also seen men putting out more content than ever, even the straight line guys. Well, I mean, look, anytime there's a way to make easy money, everybody's gonna get in. Men, women, whoever. Even, individuals that might not be considered conventionally beautiful, they have a niche. They have their category in porn that they can just drop into OnlyFans and get paid off of. So I know guys that have definitely gotten on there and made their money, and hats off to them. And if that's what you want to do, guy or girl, I'm not against that. Do your thing, make your fucking money. All right, Michaela. All right. Michaela says, I think a lot of people have social anxiety issues where it's hard or damn near impossible to form connections with people in real life. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But guys, watching this stuff too much can really fuck up how your mind works when it comes to sexual attraction. So the last thing I would want any of you guys to experience is watching too much of that to the point where you can't connect with a woman in real life. Especially if it's a woman that's your special lady, you done invested a lot of time in her, you got all these beautiful feelings for her, and then X isn't connecting the Y to Z because your mind's gone all messed up. Now I've heard of guys, and actually one of the guys because we talked about this in the men's group the other day, and one of the guys, he talked about, he had issues, regarding this stuff, and he was just going too hard on the trans porn, and he said he had followed this program of a 90-day cleanse, and that 90-day, no fat cleanse, no porn, whatever. He was very he was a huge proponent of it because he says it reset his hardware, essentially. It reset him, and his attraction in real life was so much more pure, so much more crisp. Everything was firing on all pistons. Everything was good. So it isn't like there is no way back from it. But I had to get the point out there. Too much of it is bad. Yes, I like it. I think people can use it all in moderation. But I do understand that, especially in the trans part of the space, it does form unrealistic expectations. It does. It does get your mind expecting all trans women to be, these porn sex objects. And yeah, your girl may try and she could do her best to be that once in a while here or there, but like, you got to meet some real people. If porn is all you know of trans women, they are obviously far more than just that. And it does shape your perceptions in terms of how you interact with people, and it can just be a problem. I just really wanted to say something about this. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to get on wax with this. Because while, yes, I do love the porn, I love it. I definitely, do all things in moderation and don't, mess myself up. Because we do have real lives to live beyond these computers and devices and things like that. So, okay, I'm sorry. Michaela said, yeah, trans women have had a hard time with orgasms. That is absolutely true. Depending on how heavy, they're well, just depending on their own physical biology, essentially. If they're taking a bunch of hormones, the same amount of hormones can react differently with one girl to the next, and you can have completely different experiences. And oh yeah, and now this is obviously another misconception brought on by porn, but Michaela says most girls with trans experience don't like topping. So if you're a guy that says, "Oh yeah, you got to top me, baby," because why don't you want to top me? All these girls do it on porn, like it's a common thing. Well, it's less common than you would think. I'm not saying it's impossible to find a girl that would be comfortable with you bottoming, but the likelihood of finding a trans woman who bottoms is far higher, in my experience, in my personal experience. And so that's definitely anecdotal on my part and Michaela's part. With the people that we know and that we talked to, that's kind of been the case. So I'm just catching up with the comments because I want everybody to kind of have their thoughts, All right. Michaela again, it says, I don't think a lot of men understand that a lot of girls have an issue with their penis. That's another big part of this. Gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a big deal for quite a few women out there. So, you're coming into this thing and, hey, this is going to be just like the videos I watch. I'm going to reach down there. I'm going to love it. I'm going to be all over it. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to have my time with it. And the girl that you may be with would be like, yo, I don't even want you looking at it. Don't touch it. I hate this part of my body. I plan on getting SRS. I don't like this. I don't like, there are women with certain hangups around their penis because, they don't, just because of gender dysphoria. I'm not even going to go into the particular whys, but I just know that can be an issue. And you should definitely, be aware of that before you enter into a lot of these situations. When you're talking to a girl, it's definitely time to, try and fish and figure out where she's at with that kind of stuff mentally, because the last thing you want to do is make, your woman feel uncomfortable. You don't want to do any of that stuff. So, we're all about good experiences here. Sorry. We're all about good experiences here. We don't want to set you up to fail or anything like that. Oh, and Michaela says ED for trans women is real. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. My first two girlfriends couldn't get any blood flow down there at all. Nothing. It was just what it was, because the hormones and all that other stuff. It's just what it was. So, that doesn't mean that they weren't into me or anything like that. That's just how their body worked, because it's individual for everyone. It is, So some girls can't get it up at all. Some girls can get it up once in a while. It may pop up and then fall back down and pop up again. Or some are, some it'll stay up. It is what it is. And I know it's just kind of, to some people, might be disgusting that this guy's talking about this man is talking about trans bodies. But look, I'm trying to explain this to men. I have a lot of male listeners. The show's for men. And, I'm just sharing my experience and my understanding of things. Let's see. Harmony. All right. I'm gonna have to read the rest of this. So Harmony says wait, how long ago was this? Okay, cool. I'm catching up. So Harmony says the only thing I hate about trans porn is that they make it appear that we're strictly tops, and it's not the case. Of course, in my case, I get hard and can come, but I'm a bottom who wants to enjoy getting head. But I rarely top, maybe a handful of times in my entire life. So I had to take it down and read it. As you said, if you're taking moans, you're not going to be able to function down there. I stopped taking testosterone blockers 2 years ago, and my cheetahs finally started working again like 2 months ago. So, yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where it's just like some women, all the girls on the videos, they stop. They stop there. They cycle off to make money, to make these videos that you guys enjoy on the internet, and then they get back on. Now, there are some women, like Harmony that I know, and outside of her, who may stop it for, to heighten pleasure with their partner, or just because they want to, just because they want to enjoy themselves that way, and it may not be about the partner. It's just, I like my body and this is what I want to do with it. And that's dope. Do what you want to do. We're all here to live free. So, Raven is funny. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong one. So, anywho, all right. Oh, yeah. What's up, Sammy? What's up, bruh? Sammy has the Sorry Not Sorry podcast. Go check it out. He's a friend of the show. Sorry Not Sorry podcast. I believe that's what it's called. Let me double check on my podcast now, because I am a subscriber. Let's see. Yeah, sorry. Is that what it is? I'm sorry, my internet's a little slower out here. What the fuck? Where'd it go? Oh my God. I'm sorry, bro. Please verify that that's the name of the podcast, because I don't want to send people to the wrong podcast. So sorry for slowing down the show on that one. But Michaela says, I think men with this issue should understand that those girls in those movies are doing these things because they're getting paid to do those acts. You can pay for whatever fantasy you want, but in real life relationship types, you can't expect all that. And that's absolutely true. I mean, for the guys who are new to dating trans women, I'm sure you were dating cis women before that, and I'm sure you weren't requiring them to do all these porn caliber stunts and bends and positions and all this other crap. Like, keep your expectations mellow, minimal. Like, the trans women are people, and that they have many sides of them, and they're not here to be your fucking sex kitten, your sex fantasy 24 hours a day. It's not what they're here for. They're here just like everybody else, to be loved in the right way, in the way that they need to be loved. And yeah, is sex a part of a relationship? Of course. But trying to have requirements on, what kind of sex you get, and well, you're not doing it like the girls in the stop it, dude. That's not how you have a healthy relationship. And that's just speaking from my experience. I don't that nah. So yeah, Harmony just double down. ED is interest when it's very common. I stopped because I like comedy and I enjoy busting nuts. And fair enough. And that's some girls in the community are just like that. That's totally fine. So it's not a big deal. Okay, yeah. The Sorry Not Sorry podcast with Sammy Smith. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I got all the comments. I think I'm caught up on everything. But fellas, it's really, I just had to have this talk with y'all and just be real, because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's in these videos that you see happening, and I'm like, that's cool, that may be happening with that one girl, but that may not be happening with yours. And it's okay that it's not, because this is a very diverse community. All the girls' bodies don't look like all the girls in the porn videos' bodies. I would say that's one thing that porn has definitely progressed on, is, when I was young, well, I still am sort of young, but, when I was younger, the only girls they would let in front of the camera were girls with surged out bodies only. They didn't have any girls without breast implants or any, it was only that. Now the bodies are definitely a lot more varied. They got big BBWs, small, thin girls, all sorts of different kinds, whatever else. So, the depictions are getting a little bit more realistic, but, please do not use that as a barometer for what you should have or what you want or anything like that. It's fake. It's fantasy. Keep that shit in fantasy land. Okay? Fantasy land over here, a real life relationship over here. Don't let this shit come over here, because it shouldn't. Now, I understand we use porn a lot of times to explore ourselves and see if we have any kinks, or if there's anything we're into specifically, and that's all great. And your partner may be into it, but they don't have to be. So, that's another sad about that. Would you be down to try Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or MMA? Side notes, I already did MMA for a little bit, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was a college wrestler, so close enough. Now y'all just learned something new about Chris. My main man, G Mike, says, when I was a young man, I gagged when I saw real trans women my exact age, totally different from the videos at that time. Absolutely. So, look, this is a solo show. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it short. I'm on my way out, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the show tonight. Apologies for being a short one. But this was just something that was on my heart, something I felt like I had to tell guys and just get out there into the internet ether, because there's not enough people there's not enough men talking to men, trying to help them measure their expectations and base it in reality, not the fantasy shit, the real shit. So, oh damn, who's this? What's going on? Oh, all right. Yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna do one last comment, one more. And that's only because Harmony's been a long time supporter. So she goes all the way back to year one, actually the first few months. So all right. Harmony sharing her experience. She said, I developed ED after years of testosterone blocker. It made me insecure because I felt like all my partners expected me to function down there, and a part of me really does enjoy coming. The thing I hated most about HRT is the ED. I wanted to feminize Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to feminize and transition, but I still would like to be able to come. To be honest, some girls are tops and are able to fulfill these fantasies, but the majority aren't these topping, she slinging creatures. That's true. That's true. So, I mean, guys, if you enjoy those videos where you're seeing these dudes get topped by women, just understand that that may not be something that, I'm sorry, it's possible, but it's not exactly probable for you to find a girl who's going to offer that to you. So you can look and you can try to explore and find somebody that's on the same wavelength as you. They're out there, but it's just going to be a little bit harder. You're going to have a little bit harder to go at it to find people that are like that. So do not come into the situation expecting this. Please, as always, come into the situation with respect, because trans women are people. They are people. They are not sex dolls. They're not somebody for you to dehumanize. So these are people with their own thoughts, hopes, joys, all the same shit you got. And it's sad I have to say this basic ass shit, but it has to be said because some people just don't see it like that. For whatever reason, they haven't even thought to see that, wow, this is a whole ass person that has all these hopes, desires, dreams, and needs and wants, whatever else. So it's just like, yeah. And I'm sorry, Michaela's right on this one. Do all that stuff unless you're paying for it. But even when you're paying for it, just be respectful. I don't see any reason to be disrespectful towards women or not, not be nice. I think that's just something every decent person should be. But that's just me. I've never really been a client or anything like that. But if I were to, I think I could still be cool in that way. But anywho, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share this live on Facebook. And if you're listening on audio platforms, please give us a 5-star rating. The more 5-star ratings we get, the easier we're going to be able to find, on all platforms. So that's about it. We will see y'all next week. And, we'll actually have a guest on and some really dope information for you next week. So